everyone. I am here with DJ, senior here at MSUB, majoring in psychology and biology. DJ, could you share a little bit about your experience at the science department?
Absolutely. I'd say that compared to the rest of the state, I think that we have one of the best science departments here. The reason being is because at a smaller school, we get to have really personal relationships with our professors. So you get to build a very tight-knit society, and you can really work one-on-one with a professor, where I don't think you can get that at some of the larger schools. So it kind of gives you an edge when it comes to taking exams, whether they be in class or national society exams. So I think that because of our smaller size, our science department is definitely one of the best in the state.
So you're a senior, you're about to graduate soon. What do you plan on doing with the degree?
Well, I'm actually going to medical school. That's my dream anyway. That's what I hope to do. I take the MCAT, the medical school entrance exam, in the spring, and I apply for medical school immediately following that. So if all goes well, I would like to join something called the WWAMI program, and that's where we have satellite schools from the state of Washington. And they have a satellite school in Bozeman that I could attend, and I would still be a part of their school. So hopefully that would be what I can get into. And if all goes well, I would like to take a surgical residency, but it's pretty hard to get into, so we'll see how that goes.
Awesome, great. That sounds incredible. If you could give an advice to incoming freshmen who are interested in majoring in biology or chemistry, what would that be? Definitely
become familiar with the staff. The staff is going to be your biggest ally as you move forward in your degree. So the more you can get to know them, the more you can speak with them, the better relationship you're going to build. And again, you're going to get that one-on-one experience that I don't think you'd have elsewhere. So really take advantage of it while you're here. A lot of students may be hesitant because it's so personal and it can kind of scare them off, but it's really a promising aspect of the school, and I think that it would benefit any incoming student is to just really get to know your professors, and you can actually build a really good relationship with them, and it can be something you carry on after you leave here.
Awesome. Thank you, DJ. We're so proud of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's Career Cafe. My name is Shai Robinson and I'm a new student marketing specialist here at MSU Billings. And for the next several weeks on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're going to be showcasing different programs over the lunch hour. So grab a coffee, sit tight. Today we're talking about science.
I'm Brittany Smith. I'm a new student specialist here at Montana State University Billings. To start us off, I'll talk a little bit about MSUB. So we were founded in 1927. We're located here in Billings, Montana. There are 5 colleges across 2 different campuses, and we have over 4,000 students enrolled in numerous programs across both of these campuses.
So here at MSU Billings, we do have a faculty to student ratio of 14 to 1, excuse me. So you really get to know your professors. Additionally, our average class size is 23, so you really get to know your peers that you're in class with. 88% of our faculty do have their PhD or the highest degree in their field, so when you have a question, you're going to be talking to an expert in class. And additionally, absolutely none of our classes are taught by graduate assistants, so something really unique to our university.
We have 2 residence halls. Both are located here on the university campus. And we have over 50 student clubs and organizations located across both campuses. So if there's anything that you're really interested in or passionate about outside of class, or maybe even to further your program and really dig deeper, there's opportunities there. Additionally, we sponsor 16 NCAA Division II athletic programs. We are part of the Greater Northwest Athletic Conference, or GNAC. And then we also have intramural sports and recreational activities for anyone who's looking to participate but maybe not have to practice all that much.
Alrighty, well obviously Montana State University Billings is located here in Montana, so just some quick facts about Big Sky Country. We do have a population of 1 million in our state at the last census, so in 2010. Additionally, we have 2 national parks here, so we're the entrance to Yellowstone National Park on the southern side of the state, and then we have the entirety of Glacier National Park, which is beautiful. 55 state parks located across the state, so really you're always within a quick drive to one of those parks. 8 federally recognized tribes with 7 reservations in our state, and then we do experience all 4 seasons here, which is fun. We're kind of in fallish winter right now, a little bit in between the seasons. But one of my favorite features of Montana is that we have a very deep, rich history that I think a lot of people don't know about.
And then we are here in Billings, which is the largest city in the state of Montana. So with that comes tons of opportunities. The largest school district, so if you're looking to use science to then go into education and possibly teach science, there's plenty of opportunities to get into the schools, get some practice there. As I mentioned with that, we do have a ton of internship opportunities, some of which will come from being next to the 2 largest hospital systems in the region. And we also have 3 major refineries here in town, so it really just depends on kind of what you're looking to do with your program, whether it's, lab work or work like healthcare, those kind of things. We just have a ton of opportunities for you.
Alrighty, so today we're focusing on the science department, as I mentioned, and that is actually housed in our College of Health Professions and Sciences, and we did some rearranging among our colleges, so this is kind of one of the newer ones. But exciting things happening over there. They're actually in the process of building/renovating the old science building and creating the Yellowstone Science and Health building. There's a lovely rendering of it right there. We're so excited for that to open hopefully next summer. We're gonna have a cadaver lab, greenhouse, new lab spaces. It's gonna be absolutely amazing.
So to start, we will talk a little bit about our biology program. We do have a variety of options with biology. You could do a Bachelor's of Arts in biology or a Bachelor's of Science in biology. Some of that will just depend on the number of lab credit hours that you need. You can check out more about that on our website for sure, or ask one of us in the chat. Additionally, we do have our Biology Medical Laboratory Science, which is also that's a Bachelor's of Science. So these are all 4-year degree programs specializing or emphasizing biology. And then we have a video of one of our new student specialists interviewing a current student, I believe.
A professor.
A professor, even better. I mean, well, toss up, but a professor in the biology field. So we're going to take a look at one of those now.
I am here with Michelle McMillan, and she's gonna share some of the awesome things she does at MSUB. Michelle, could you tell us what classes you're currently teaching?
Yeah, sure. I teach normal human nutrition, and then I also teach a biology class, an intro biology, genetic biology that is kind of nutrition flavored. It's fundamentals of biology, nature of nutrition, BioB 123.
Okay, awesome. And what kind of students usually do best in your classes?
You know, I think the students who get the most out of my classes, which also usually is the same thing as doing better in the class, are that they take some of the lessons that I teach and they bring them to their real life, or they find examples in their real life and they bring them into the classroom and they ask about those things. And that's really exciting. I love that when students make a lot of connections, because obviously if we're talking about food, most people eat most days. So there's ample opportunities to see those types of things. But even my biology class, they'll ask me like, well, is that why my cat does this? Or, stuff like that. And I love that when people put it together and go beyond what's in the book.
I love that. Can you maybe share a little bit about this department, what kind of environment it is?
I really like this department. I have worked in a lot of places. This is the first time I can honestly say I just like I almost said love. That's a little strong for 1 or 2 people. But I really admire and trust all of my colleagues. They are experts in what they do. I feel like if I have a question in a different discipline that, maybe just my own curiosity or something that one of my students brings up, I have an expert at my fingertips.
We have a lot of students interested in completing pre-med. Can you talk about if that's possible here at MSUB?
Oh, totally. Every year we have a handful of people who go into pre-med, and we do have students who go on and get into medical school, and they do great.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. Thank you.
My pleasure. I hope it helps.
Thank you.
So definitely lots of flexible options here with our science department. I love that you really do get to, as we mentioned, know your professors, and then obviously they're all experts in their fields. So just a great program to thrive in, I think, if you're interested in the sciences here at MSU Billings. So in addition to that biology degree, we also have a degree in chemistry, which is going to be that Bachelor of Science degree, but we also have a minor option. So if you were thinking more that biology route, you can still do a chemistry minor to help prepare you for the future. And now we're going to throw it back to our new student specialist, Marie, who also talked to Matt Queen recently.
Hello everyone, I am here today with Professor Matt Queen, one of the chemistry professors here at MSUB. Professor, could you share a little bit about the classes that you teach here at MSUB?
Sure. So we offer a full chemistry major here at MSU Billings. And so that includes, starting from the level of general chemistry, so like the chemistry that takes place in water, organic chemistry, which takes place with organic molecules, with carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, all the way up to advanced topics and things like chemical quantum mechanics and things like that. And so, yeah.
Very cool. What are any current research projects you current?
Yeah, so I have actually a couple of different research projects. One research project that I'm involved with, which is what I'll call my hard science research project. I'm looking at a compound that can clean up chlorinated contaminants in groundwater. And so we do all sorts of work looking at how the electrons are arranged in that molecule. We actually use synchrotron spectroscopy, which is a giant particle accelerator that we go and visit down at Stanford University in California, and we shoot high energy X-rays at molecular compounds to figure out where the electrons are in there and then how it'll react and how we can make it react better. And so that's one research project. The other one that I'm involved with looks at chemical education. And so teaching, figuring out how to better teach chemistry to students. We go to schools all across the state of Montana, mostly on the eastern side, and do a chemical demonstration show that's like a full-on play about chemistry that we've written and performed here at the school. And so we do that with students, and then we have some different curriculum options that we work with students on to see what's the most effective.
I've seen you do it, and I think you're doing an excellent job. Yes.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it is awesome.
Yeah.
When someone graduates with undergraduate degree in chemistry, what kind of jobs can they apply for?
Yeah, so there's a lot. Chemistry is a degree that when you get an undergraduate degree in it, you can work, right? There's a lot of analytical facilities across the state, and pretty much what that is you have some sort of a sample, whether it be environmental, food related, drug related, whatever it is, and you want to be able to quantitate, figure out how much of a given chemical is in that sample. Those samples have to get sent to analytical facilities, and so there's a lot of employment options in those types of places. Some people can, they look at that and they're like, well, I don't necessarily just want to be working at a gas chromatography machine for the rest of my life. But the truth of the matter is that the people that own those businesses don't necessarily have more advanced degrees. They're just the kind of people that look at the situation that they're in and they say, oh, well, I could buy a whole bank of these instruments and meet this consumer need. And so one of the things that we really try to focus on here at MSU Billings that I think is different than a lot of other schools in the state is looking at enabling people to have sort of a creative approach to what they're doing and think about how could I do what I'm doing better and take that next step to something else.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
No
Thank you. I
worries.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I know we mentioned that all of our faculty are experts in their field, but like we've just seen 2 of these videos, and that's so evident that they are so passionate about what they do, but also about their students, and even just the research that they're able to get students get their hands in, I guess. And there's just so many really neat opportunities that are here at MSU Billings. Another one of our programs is our Broadfield Science Bachelor's of Science. And there's related to our teaching licensure. We also have an environmental science minor. So we're actually going to talk to our botanist, faculty member Comer, video next. I believe, is it Dr. Comer? I don't know. I always just assume that they have a PhD because I listen to them for 4 to 5 seconds and I'm just like, you're smarter than me. Yeah, okay. So we'll go to that video next.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm here with Dr. Comer today. Dr. Comer, would you like to tell us what kind of student does best in your classes?
So students that really take ownership of their education, and by that I mean actively engaging in conversations in the classroom, asking questions, also coming to see me if there's any questions, tend to do the best. And that's some of the advice that I always give students. You know, don't be afraid to ask questions. That helps me as an instructor know kind of where the knowledge gaps are. So those are the best kinds of students to have in class.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about your own research that you're working on right now?
So I'm the botanist here at MSUB, so my research focuses on plants. Typically, I do work with students on floristic projects. So that is going out to various areas, looking at the plants, identifying them, and basically making a list of what's growing where. This works really nice. A lot of the parks, city and county are interested in knowing what plants are growing. So we kind of have a nice relationship with those, as well as some of the state and federal agencies. One of the big projects that's coming up here starting over the summer is a genomics project looking at invasive species. And so we're working as kind of a collaboration with several other schools across the United States. The main hub for our region is working on tumbleweed, Salsola trachis. I get to pick out an invasive species to look at, and right now I'm looking at the common buckthorn. This is one that grows along our little canal out here, and so I think will be of interest to the community as well as students.
That sounds interesting. Awesome. Great. Thank you. From your point of view, what do you think makes this department really stand out?
So MSUB in general has much smaller class sizes, and so students get a lot more interaction with us as instructors, also being able to do research with us. One of the things I really like about MSUB is the herbarium. That was one of the major things that I was looking for when I was applying and interviewing here. It's kind of the hub of my research, also lets me get out and have connections with the community.
Awesome. Thank you so much
No
for your
problem.
time. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, Marie. So we here at MSU Billings do have a lot of students who kind of do interdisciplinary majors. So this next interview is going to be with a psychology student here at MSU Billings who also is active within that science department as well. So this is an interview with Candice.
Hello everyone, I am here with Candice. She is MSUB student, senior, majoring in biology, and she is here today to share a little bit about her experience at MSUB. Candice, could you tell me what is your favorite class at MSUB?
My favorite class that I took was definitely plant systematics, since I'm interested in botany. In that class, I actually got to go outside and collect flowers and identify them. So that was exactly what I was looking to do.
Awesome.
It was fun.
Are you currently working on any exciting projects?
Yes, I'm currently doing a research project that is very similar to plant systematics. Actually, I'm doing a floristic inventory of Two Moon Park and comparing it to some herbarium samples that we already have in the herbarium. Some
Sounds
of which are like 100 years old. So yeah, it's fun.
awesome. That's great. So when you were deciding where to go to college, what made you pick MSUB?
I was living in Red Lodge at the time, so I needed to find a college that I could commute to. I didn't want to move, and so that left Powell or MSU Billings, and I looked at the options and the programs that MSU Billings offered. And although they didn't have a botany program, the biology program, all the classes were something I was interested in taking as well. So.
Amazing. Awesome. So you're going to graduate soon. Congratulations. What do you plan doing with the degree?
I am hoping to go to graduate school to learn more about plants specifically.
Awesome.
So I think the biology degree was a really good base, to prepare me for graduate school, but I'd like to learn more about flowers.
That's so exciting. Good for you. Okay, thank you so much for taking the time, and we wish you the best.
Thanks.
It's always really good to hear from students and why they chose MSU Billings. And some of the reasons why students will choose MSU Billings is because of our student support. And so there's a ton of support services that we have here on campus that start, with our office, New Student Services, we're here to kind of walk you through that application process and some of those key pieces. And then as soon as you're accepted, you'll start getting more information about financial aid and scholarships. And then we have our Yellow Jacket orientation, which is really to get you here and oriented to campus and all of the other programs that are available. Some first year experience classes, so working with your advisor and just learning a little bit more about what it looks like to be successful in college. We have our Academic Support Center, TRIO, and Student Support Services, as well as our Disability Support Services. Yellow Jacket Emergency Pantry, that's an opportunity for students if you're just kind of between paychecks or things are a little tight. There's a ton of things there like food, school supplies, and some toiletries. You can just swing by, pick those up. We also have our Student Health Services, which is really great to have here on campus. It's located in Petro Hall and just right across the hall from where most of our first year students will live here on campus. You can get your flu shot and a few other things taken care of there. Additionally, we do have our Native American Achievement Center, which is a really great resource here on campus for our Native American students, but also for any students that are just interested in learning more, spending time in community. We have our Military and Veteran Success Center, so if you have served or are military affiliated, so like a parent has served and there's benefits and some of those things, they'll really help you navigate some of those key pieces in paying for school, but also provide additional support to really help you succeed. And then lastly, we do have our career and employment services, and we're going to have an interview with our director and Brittany Bourne. She's one of the career specialists, and she'll talk a little bit more about what kind of resources we have for our students as they're looking to be employable both well in college and beyond. So take it away.
Hello and welcome. My name is Kristen Peterman. I'm the Director of New Student Services, and today I have the opportunity to sit down with Brittany to talk a little bit about career and employment services. Brittany, would you mind just telling us a little bit about you and what your position is here and what your office does?
Yeah, thanks, Kristen. I'm a career specialist here with Career and Employment Services, as you said, and our office specializes in creating individualized roadmaps for students pre-enrollment past graduation. So we can help with everything from resume building to finding internships to work study. And even if you don't know what you want to study, we can help you figure that out too.
Oh, that's awesome. So glad we have that service. So today we're talking a little bit about the sciences. And so if you don't mind, I was just wondering if you could tell us, what does the employment outlook look like for someone that might want to study science?
Yeah, absolutely. So every year we do something called a grad survey. So this is when we contact all of our alumni and just see, have they found a job? Are they working in their field? Did it turn out how they wanted it to turn out? Of all the grads that we called in 2019 and who replied to the grad survey, 100% of them found job placement. Wow. That's a pretty good outlook.
Yeah, that's pretty
good
statistics,
that's what we like to hear.
Yeah, that's great. So I'm sure a lot of students have those great job placements and they maybe started somewhere with an employer while they were going to school at MSU Billings. What does that look like? So students in the sciences for internships or maybe part-time jobs, is that something you guys can help with?
Yes, absolutely. So when looking at your experience here and how does that relate to my career, the sciences are really broad. So you can get into anything from, you can be looking at medical school or research opportunities. There's, for example, our medical lab field, when looking at projections for employment, it's a very, very fast growing field. And so there are just so many different opportunities. And yes, as you said, work study opportunities on campus, very broad. Jobs shadowing, internships, and even occupational interviewing.
Oh, very cool. Can you tell me a little bit more about what that is?
Yeah, absolutely. So you might start college or even be transferring in and think about, what do I want to do? I might be interested in this field. Like, okay, let's talk about, for example, medical lab. You might be thinking, oh, maybe I do want to do something like that. Maybe I do want to do research. Maybe I do want to be in a lab. Maybe that is for me. You might think about doing an occupational interview. And what that means is you would find someone in that field or even one of your instructors on campus who may be specialized in that field, and you have a specific set of questions that you'll ask them about that career field to see if it's really something you want to do before you invest all that time and money into heading in that direction.
Yeah, what a great idea. Something I kind of wish that I would have thought of before changing my major 7 times while I was in college, right? Yes. Awesome. So tell us, from specifically MSU Billings, are there some places that our graduates have gotten jobs from in the area?
Yes. There are so many opportunities in this area, but some of the ones that come to the top of my head, St. Vincent's Healthcare, Billings Clinic, Holy Rosary, SCL Health, a lot of the major employers in the area.
Wonderful. So Brittany, for those that are watching and maybe thinking, oh, this is something that would be very helpful to me, how would they get started? What would they need to do?
Oh, yes, that's such a good question. So your first semester, go ahead and connect with your career specialist. So you can just pop on over to Career and Employment Services, let us know what your major is. If you don't have a major, still pop on over because we can still help you. And I would just recommend sitting down with us, talking to us about your career goals so we can create a specific individualized roadmap for you. Because there's so much you can do to get ready for your career, pre-enrollment, past graduation, and we just want to help you make the most of that while you're here with us.
That's excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, and thanks for all you do for our students.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so as Brittany touched on, lots of opportunities here when going into a science field, whether it's teaching, pursuing, a medical degree, doctorate, lots of options for our science students. So just a quick retouch back at MSU Billings. So we offer an affordable, high-quality education. So compared to many universities within our state, our tuition is much lower, but you end up with higher wage outcomes. So you're paying a little bit less and making a little bit more in the end. So we just really like to stress that. There was actually a Department of Labor and Industry report that found that university graduates here at MSU Billings are on average $4,400 more than the mean or average of other four-year public institutions in Montana. So you're coming in, you're paying a little bit less, and like I said, you're earning more on the back end. So why not come?
And we do have that Montana cost comparative worksheet on both our website and the website you're likely viewing this from or through. And so that'll give you kind of piece by piece what it costs to attend here compared to some of the other schools, what you're saving, etc. But we do have financial aid and scholarships available. So FAFSA, or the free application for federal student aid, is live right now, and our priority deadline is December 1st. So you'll want to apply and get all of that kind of sorted before December 1st. Now the priority deadline just means that we're going to prioritize students who come in before December 1st, but that doesn't mean that the aid is all gone. So even if you're getting some of this information after December 1st, still apply, it's worth it. FAFSA is what gets you access to work study, and loans and grant options through the government. So that's before, private lenders and some of those things. Our MSUB code is 002530. It will ask you to enter a code so that it will specifically let you know what kind of aid is available attending here at MSU Billings. For those who are coming from outside of Montana, because it is a state school, we do have our in-state cost and then we have out-of-state costs, but there is a little bonus for any students coming from some of these western states. So we participate in the Western Undergraduate Exchange. We call it WUI because it's more fun to say. And so that is a tuition rate that is guaranteed. There's no additional application. You just apply, and based on what your mailing address is at admission, we'll give you that WUI discount. So it's approximately tuition plus 50%, so it's definitely less than out of state, so it's a really nice thing to participate in, and you don't have to do anything extra for it. We do have our scholarship application, and one of the really nice things here at MSU Billings is that it's just one application. It's one scholarship portal, so you go in and you apply and then put in your references, and then they'll fill out some information on you. You'll want to make sure to follow up with your references. There are 3, and the more that you have turn in and be people who know you and can speak to your circumstances and you as a person. We ask that it's not family or friends. I mean, it can be someone that you're friendly with, but the priority is some sort of coach or mentor or supervisor, teacher, guidance counselor, those kind of things that really can speak on your behalf. And then we do have some scholarships that don't require that portal. They're just a part of, again, that application. So similar to WUI, we recognize, you're coming from Wyoming or Oregon or Washington, etc. We have some that if you're coming from central or eastern Montana, or you're coming from within Montana, we do have that Yellow Jacket Excellence Scholarship, which is tied a little bit to your GPA, a little bit to where you're coming from, and that is something, again, you don't have to apply additionally for. We just are able to award that. And then we do have our Explore Montana. So that's for anybody who's coming from outside of Montana and outside of that WUI region. So if you're like, let's head to Big Sky Country, but but WUI can't work for me, maybe the Explore Montana scholarship will.
Perfect. And then a little pro tip. So I'm an alumni here, so my recommendation is if you've been accepted or if you're in the process of applying and once you've been accepted, just sit down and do your financial aid, FAFSA, and scholarship over Thanksgiving and just be done with it and not have to worry about it again. Just a little recommendation. So what are some of the next steps you have outside of that? Come see us. We are open. You can come to campus. Either Brittany, me, one of our peers, colleagues would love to sit down and talk with you about MSU Billings, take you on a tour, show you around campus, do a specialized interview for you so you can hear about programs that you're interested in. We also have virtual visits, so if that's not something you're comfortable with or if you're not coming to Billings anytime soon, we also have that option for you. Regardless on if you do a virtual or in-person visit, you will be entered to win a $500 scholarship, and that drawing occurs monthly. So definitely stop by, schedule something with us. We'd love to sit down and talk to you. We'd love to have visitors. And then, of course, if you haven't applied yet, apply today.
So thanks for coming. We're so happy to have you join us. We wish you could be here in person, but just really appreciative of the fact that you wanted to learn a little bit more about our science program. So again, you can rewatch this later, but otherwise, thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Alrighty, thanks guys.